It's 5:30 in the morning, but I'm gonna go see Big Lizzie. Well, the thing about Big Lizzie, she's the first big carrier for these British Isles, and I want to go see her come home to her home port in Portsmouth. She doesn't have planes yet, but it's going to be exciting to see her nonetheless. The meter guy said I had 1 hour, but Lizzie's coming in about an hour and 10. What should I do? I got to Portsmouth at 6 in the morning, having taken off very early in the morning to Portsmouth, and set up my kit. I was lucky to find one open spot. The Brits were there very early to claim their spots. I'm sure they made a queue even though there was no need for a queue. But I found my one spot, and early on, already people there taking pictures, milling about, and was pleased to find helicopters doing rounds, flying about, blaring their choppers at us, and the people that were waiting for the carrier were actually waving flags. All in all, it took from when we first saw Big Lizzie in our vantage point, it took about probably half hour for her to get close enough to right in front of us, half hour to maybe 45 minutes. So she is the biggest boat that the Royal Navy has ever built. I think the price tag on each is $3 billion, although she will cost less to construct than the complement of F-35Bs she will get. F-35Bs being, of course, American fighters, but designed and built by a cooperation of many countries, many NATO countries. But the excitement of it all, having just seen the movie Dunkirk, seeing a big Royal Navy ship and seeing all these British people welcoming the boat had me thinking about the scenes from the movie when the soldiers are being transported back to England. You had eager citizens, eager people there welcoming the soldiers and the sailors back home. This ship was truly massive. She's not that much smaller than the biggest U.S. carriers like the Nimitz class. Although they carry, the style of the runway and everything is completely different. The U.S. carriers don't have the ski jump. But the point of this all is how awesome it was to see. You know, I've seen it. We've talked about it in the other videos, in the comment sections, how the Brits are not patriotic, they're not vain, quote unquote. These are what the commentators are saying, that they don't wave flags, they don't cheer. But here I was with thousands of British people. They were waving flags and they were cheering, and there were many little boats following this massive carrier, the pride of the Royal Navy at this point. And it was wonderful to see. It was really touching because you hear and you're told by so many other Britishers that they have this invisible, secret patriotism that's quiet and subtle and not vain. And it was nice to see them get excited about the pride and joy of the Royal Navy. So all in all, I was in my spot for about an hour, and I was situated right at the narrowest point of the entry to Portsmouth Harbor. And so you got really close to the carrier as it passed by. And as I said, there were probably 100 or so little boats following her in. That was it. We just saw Big Lizzie come into port, and everyone's dispersing. Well, chaps, we've welcomed Big Lizzie. She's home now. I don't know what she's gonna do here now, but I look forward to when she will receive cutting-edge F-35s. I think they'll start arriving next year, 2018, and I look forward to seeing that amazing carrier bristling with the most advanced fighters in the world. Peace out! The whole experience reminded me of when I was a little boy. My dad took me out to see a space shuttle launch, and then as a young man, I was lucky enough to work at Kennedy Space Center and see a launch myself. I hadn't been out to see a spectacle since then, and it was quite impressive and a pleasure and an honor to see it happen.